Howdy, 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 everybody. Rocky Mountain Blue Collar here, back today with another video. It's actually not a bad day. The air is definitely cooler. Last I looked at the temperature, it is about 70 degrees right now, which is very, very nice. The plan for today's video is I'm going to be going over to the canyon right over there because I had a recent experience of watching or not necessarily watching, but having a new rider go down in a canyon due to inexperience. I'm headed over to that canyon to give some tips and advice for new riders or anyone in general on how to ride in a canyon. I really want to help out new riders and share in my experience to them, to anyone really that's looking to get into motorcycles, who's wanting to ride, who is riding, or who just wants to relearn. Whatever the reason is, I want to share my experience, my advice to anyone out there that's looking for that. So I'm gonna get headed over to the canyon, so enjoy the ride while I head over there. So enjoy. Anyways, canyon riding. Canyon riding is super fun. When I got into canyon riding, my first canyon was Logan Canyon. Logan Canyon is very well known for motorcycle accidents, actually, causing, holy cow, look at the color. With canyon riding, bit of a hypocrite here, don't get distracted while going into corners. It's great, like if you're going slow, it's like look around a little bit, but watch your line, know your line. This is where knowing your bike comes in handy, because you can actually feel the corner through your motorcycle, because your motorcycle, depending on it, of course, if it's a cruiser, probably not gonna like corners as much, but my cruiser is designed for performance, designed for corners, designed for handling. Harley Davidson actually raked in the forks so it can handle those corners and go into them a lot easier. When you're going through canyons, you have to watch your line. You have to be looking ahead. You have to be looking to almost where you can't see. Now, for example, when I'm going into this corner, I know it's not a steep corner, but I'm watching, follow my finger, but I'm looking way up there. I'm looking into the corner. I'm not looking down here. I'm looking up here. When you're watching where you're going, you naturally go that way, and which will actually go into the next bit of canyon riding, and that is counter steering. Counter steering is not that complex. When you're going fast, your bike is going to lean. That's how you turn on a bike when you're going fast. For example, I want to go right, I push to the right, and it forces the wheel to go this way, which is forcing the bike to lean. Same thing left. I push left, it forces the bike to go right, which forces it to lean left, so it goes left. Well, you also notice when I'm going into corner, I'm not just leaning the bike, I'm leaning into the corner with the bike, because what that's doing is it's lowering the center of gravity, so my bike, so let's say I were to stand up on my bike and go into that, my center of gravity is way high, and it'll actually lose traction because the gravity is so much higher. So if you're going fast into a corner, like I just did, notice how much more I was leaning into that corner with the bike. Not to mention, when you lean into your bike, when you lean into that corner, you're actually forcing that handlebar down. You're forcing that handlebar. So 3 things I've gone over. Well, 2 technically. Well, let's see, 3, 2, something like that. And then another one is also speed. If you're not familiar with the corner, don't go fast. That's what happened to this new rider that we were riding with. They were going too fast into a corner they were not familiar with, whereas the rest of us were. If you're in an unfamiliar environment, unfamiliar canyon, do not go fast. Take your time. Because if you go too fast, what ends up happening is you can only lean your bike so far before you either start scraping or you what's called low side and the bike comes out from underneath you. Or you end up fishtailing and can high side and you end up going over the bike. What's it called? Braking mid-corner. Now, ideally you want to slow down before the corner. Now, let's say you go into a corner and it's a little too sharp for you. Well, let me tell you something. Don't press on your back brake. Do not press on your back brake. Because what will happen is if you press too hard or give too much brake, what can happen is your back tire will either lock or slip, and it can lead to you sliding out, low siding, or even high siding. What you want to do is either progressively press on the front brake, not hard. Because what happens if you press too hard, your bike stands up and you can high side, or you just stand up and you shoot across traffic or into the ditch, whatever direction you're going. Or what you can do is you press progressively on both brakes. That'll slow you down so fast. And I'm not talking like, well, I'm talking it'll slow you down faster than you would slamming on your brakes and wrecking into the ditch or into another car. That is another key thing in cornering on canyons. It also helps if you're in a gear lower, because you can use your engine to decel, to slow down. Now, another thing you don't want to do, panic. Do not panic. When you panic, your brain flushes everything and you lose concentration. But it's like I said, it goes back to, if you're unfamiliar with the area, take your time, familiarize yourself with the area, with the corners, with the terrain, with your bike. Your bike will tell you how to react, and you will also be able to tell your bike how to react. Riding through a canyon, hitting those twisties, going into the corners, it is so much fun. You can have so much fun doing it, but it is one of the more dangerous things you can do on a motorcycle. If you're not careful, you will get hurt or you will die. It's just a matter of fact. Those would be my tips and advice to riding a canyon. Watch your line, look ahead, not in front of you. Watch your speed. Don't go too fast if you're in an unfamiliar environment. And just don't go too fast in general. That's just a good rule of thumb. What was the other one? Braking in corners, using both brakes or your front brake, but not hard, just progressively. For example, I'm slowing down mid-corner, progressive braking, there we go. The other one, the 5th one, was speed, just watching your speed, not panicking. I think that's about what I have covered. So yeah, that is my tips and advice for canyon riding. I hope it's helpful, and I hope that you guys can take that advice and practice Practice, 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 practice. Practice is one of the most vital things you can do on a motorcycle. I'm gonna shut up and I'm gonna enjoy the canyon, and so you guys can enjoy the canyon as well and enjoy the fall colors, because the colors here are beautiful, just beautiful. So I will record the way back so you guys can see all this color, because you kind of get more of a flat backdrop right here. So I'm gonna find a spot to turn around before I hit the dead end, and you guys enjoy the rest of the video. There we go. Alrighty, everybody. That is Blacksmith Fork Canyon. Now, if you would like to come and ride this canyon and see these colors for yourself, I would recommend come in later September and you will get all the color. Late September, early October, I'm talking like within the last 2 weeks of the end of the month, and the first 2 weeks of the first of the month, from September to October. You will love it. I absolutely love that canyon. I love the colors that come from it. So with that being said, I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope the advice and the tips help for any of those that are wanting to ride, new to riding, looking for those tips and tricks or advice, whatever you want to call it. I gotta head back home. I gotta get some stuff done. I gotta edit some videos. I gotta run some errands. Yada, 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 yada. So, thank you all for watching. Smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, and I'll catch you on the next one. Later.